Let's talk about a belief almost everyone grows up with, a deeply ingrained idea that shapes our financial decisions from a young age. It's a concept that's been passed down through generations, often without question. You need to buy a house. It's practically a commandment in the world of personal finance. It's called the American dream, a vision of prosperity and stability, often symbolized by owning your own home with a white picket fence. Parents, often with the best intentions, teachers and banks all push it, reinforcing the idea that homeownership is the ultimate goal. Renting, they say, is just throwing money away, a waste of hard-earned cash that could be going towards building equity. While buying a house is the best investment you'll ever make, a surefire way to secure your financial future and build long-term wealth. But what if that's one of the biggest financial myths out there? What if the conventional wisdom we've been taught is actually leading us down the wrong path? Many wealthy people, individuals who have achieved significant financial success, those who truly understand money, the intricacies of finance and investment, often choose to rent, not buy. They make a conscious decision to prioritize flexibility and investment opportunities over homeownership. They know homeownership can lock up your money, tying up a significant portion of your assets in a single, illiquid investment. Limit your options, restricting your ability to pursue other financial opportunities or relocate for career advancement, and cost you more than you expect. Beyond the mortgage, there are property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and unexpected repairs that can quickly drain your bank account. True wealth isn't about owning a house. It's not about the perceived status symbol of homeownership. It's about having control over your money and making it work for you, generating income and building a diversified portfolio of assets. The rich look at the numbers, not the emotions. They analyze the financial implications of every decision rather than being swayed by societal pressures or emotional attachments. They see a house as a place to live, a shelter, and a home for their families, not always the best place to park their cash. They understand that money sitting idle in a house could be working harder elsewhere. They'd rather invest in the stock market, where their money can grow exponentially over time, businesses, fueling innovation and creating jobs, or other assets with higher returns, diversifying their investments and mitigating risk. Renting gives them freedom and flexibility, allowing them to move easily, pursue new opportunities, and adapt to changing circumstances, to build real wealth. By freeing up capital and maximizing investment opportunities, they accelerate their journey to financial independence. So forget what you've been told about buying a house. It's time to challenge the status quo and question the assumptions that have been ingrained in us for so long. We're going to break down the myths, expose the hidden costs, and reveal the truth about homeownership. Look at the real numbers, analyze the data, and examine the long-term financial implications of both renting and buying, and show you why renting can be a powerful financial tool, a strategic advantage that can help you achieve your financial goals faster. By the end, you might see that the smartest move, the most strategic decision for your financial future, isn't signing a mortgage, committing to decades of debt and tying yourself down to a single location, but signing a lease. It might just be the key to unlocking your financial freedom. Renting is just throwing money away. It's a phrase that's been repeated so often, it's practically become ingrained in our financial consciousness. But is it really that simple? Is renting truly just setting your hard-earned money on fire with nothing to show for it in the long run? You've heard it a million times, usually from well-meaning friends, family members, or even financial gurus. They paint a picture of renters as perpetually stuck, never building wealth, while homeowners are steadily climbing the ladder to financial freedom. The idea is that rent is gone forever, a sunk cost with no return, while a mortgage builds equity, a tangible asset you can eventually sell for a profit. This is the core argument, the foundation upon which the renting is throwing money away mantra is built. But that's a massive oversimplification, a glossing over of the complex financial realities of both renting and homeownership. It's a catchy soundbite, but it doesn't tell the whole story. When you own a home, you're also throwing away money, perhaps not in the same way as rent, but in ways that significantly impact your overall financial picture. On interest, which can be a substantial portion of your monthly mortgage payment, especially in the early years of the loan. Property taxes, which can vary greatly depending on your location and the value of your home, but are a recurring expense nonetheless. Insurance, a necessary expense to protect your investment from unforeseen events like fire, storms, or other disasters. And repairs, which are inevitable and often unpredictable costs that can quickly eat into your budget. In the early years, Most of your mortgage payment goes to interest, not equity. This means you're essentially paying the bank for the privilege of borrowing money, with only a small portion actually increasing your ownership stake in the property. Property taxes and insurance are annual costs, meaning you'll be shelling out a significant sum of money each year, regardless of whether your home's value increases or decreases. You'll never get back. These are simply the costs of maintaining homeownership. Maintenance and repairs, that's all on you, the homeowner. Leaky faucet, broken appliance, cracked foundation. You're responsible for fixing it and paying for it. Thousands of dollars over time spent on everything from routine upkeep to unexpected emergencies, just to keep your house from falling apart. It's a constant battle against the forces of nature and the wear and tear of daily life. These are real, unavoidable expenses that don't build equity. They simply maintain the status quo, preventing your home from depreciating further. When you rent, your monthly payment covers everything, or at least the vast majority of things related to the roof over your head. No surprise bills, no unexpected repair costs, no frantic calls to plumbers or electricians, no repair headaches. If something breaks, it's the landlord's responsibility to fix it, not yours. Your cost is fixed and predictable, allowing you to budget more effectively and plan for your financial future with greater certainty. You're not throwing money away, you're paying for a place to live minus the financial risks of ownership. You're paying for convenience, predictability, and freedom from the burdens of home maintenance. The wealthy understand this. They often choose to rent, even when they could easily afford to buy, because they recognize the financial advantages of flexibility and opportunity. They know the money saved on these thrown-away costs, the interest, the taxes, the insurance, the repairs, can be invested elsewhere for better returns, generating wealth at a faster rate than home equity alone. So next time someone says renting is a waste, remember, it's not quite that simple. Homeownership has its own money pits, its own hidden costs that can quickly drain your bank account. Renting can actually be the smarter financial move, depending on your individual circumstances and financial goals. It's not about owning or renting, it's about what you do with your money, how you manage your finances, and where you choose to invest your resources. The rich choose flexibility and opportunity over the illusion of forced savings. They understand that true wealth comes from making smart financial decisions, not just owning a home. That's how they build real wealth, by strategically allocating their resources and maximizing their investment returns. Here's another myth that's been passed around for generations, a piece of conventional wisdom that's often repeated without much thought. It's the idea that your home is your best investment. It's a sentiment that's deeply ingrained in our culture. People love to brag about how much their house has appreciated over the years, sharing stories of skyrocketing property values and the supposed financial windfall they've gained. But what they often conveniently ignore are all the hidden costs associated with homeownership. Historically, if you look at the data, U.S. housing prices rise at a relatively modest rate, typically around 3 to 4% per year, barely beating inflation, which means the real return on your investment might not be as impressive as you think. Now, let's consider the S&P 500. That's averaged about 10% per year, significantly outperforming the housing market over the long term. Remember, every dollar that's tied up in your home in the form of equity is a dollar that's not out there earning potentially higher returns in other investment vehicles, like stocks or bonds. And when you add up your down payment, all the interest you pay on your mortgage, the property taxes, the homeowner's insurance, and the never-ending costs of maintenance and repairs, your perceived profit from home appreciation starts to shrink, and it shrinks fast. And then, by the time you finally decide to sell your home, and you have to pay those hefty real estate agent commissions and all the various closing costs, the actual return on your investment is often quite disappointing and far less than you might have imagined. The truly wealthy often see a primary home not as a prime investment but rather as an illiquid asset, something that's hard to quickly turn into cash when you really need it for other opportunities or unexpected expenses. They prefer to keep a significant portion of their money liquid and growing in assets that are specifically designed for long-term wealth accumulation, not just providing shelter. Renting allows them to live well, often in desirable locations without having to lock up hundreds of thousands of dollars in a single low-performing asset. So don't confuse a place to live, a place to call home, with what constitutes a truly smart investment for your financial future. The numbers don't lie, and when you analyze them carefully, you'll see that there are often better and more efficient ways to build long-term wealth. And in many cases, renting can actually help you do just that, freeing up your capital to pursue more lucrative opportunities. Flexibility is one of renting's biggest advantages, and the wealthy know it. In a fast-changing world, being able to move quickly is priceless. If a dream job or opportunity pops up in another city, renters can just pack up and go. Homeowners? They're stuck with selling, paperwork, and months of hassle. Renting also lets you try different lifestyles: city, suburbs, even another country without a huge commitment. The rich use this flexibility to follow opportunities and adapt fast. They can upgrade, downsize, or relocate with ease. In the game of wealth, the nimble win. Owning a home can slow you down. Many people who could buy any house they want still choose to rent. Grant Cardone, a real estate mogul, rents his own home but owns properties he rents to others. He invests his capital in income-producing real estate, not his personal residence. His tenants pay for his lifestyle while his investments grow. High-powered executives and entrepreneurs often rent too. They move frequently and avoid the massive costs of buying and selling. Even Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank recommends renting, especially for young people. He says mobility and opportunity are more valuable than a little home equity. Renting preserves your flexibility and lets your money work harder elsewhere. The wealthy know, it's not about owning a home, it's about owning your future. Renting is a strategic choice, not a sign of failure. Sometimes it's the smartest move you can make. When you buy a house, the monthly mortgage payment is just the beginning. The real cost is much higher, buried in hidden expenses. Property taxes can be thousands every year, and they usually go up. Homeowners insurance is required and adds another big annual bill. If you have a homeowners association, that's more monthly fees. Maintenance and repairs? Budget at least 1% of your home's value every year just for the basics. Major repairs, like a new roof or furnace, can wipe out your savings. Buying and selling comes with closing costs and agent commissions, often tens of thousands of dollars. Add it all up, and homeownership is full of unpredictable, rising costs. Renters have one simple, predictable payment. Homeowners juggle a dozen extra bills. The dream of owning can quickly become a financial burden. Don't let hidden costs catch you off guard. Let's compare renting and owning with real numbers. Imagine Alex and Ben, each with $100,000 saved. Alex buys a $500,000 house, putting $100,000 down. His true monthly cost, after mortgage, taxes, insurance, and maintenance, is about $3,450. Ben rents a similar house for $2,500 a month and invests his $100,000 in the S&P 500. He also invests the $950 he saves each month by renting. After 5 years, Alex's house is worth more, but his real profit is much less after all the costs. Ben's investments, growing at 10% per year, are worth over $235,000. He has no debt, total flexibility, and a bigger portfolio than Alex's home equity. The numbers show, renting and investing the difference can build more wealth. It's not about pride of ownership, it's about financial results. The rich run the numbers, not just follow tradition. Renting can be the smarter, wealthier path. Don't let emotions cloud your math. So how do you apply this mindset? First, run the numbers for your situation. Don't assume buying is better. Use a rent versus buy calculator and include all hidden costs. If renting is cheaper, invest the difference, automatically every month. Treat housing as a flexible expense, not a fixed investment. The less you spend on shelter, the more you can invest in real wealth builders. Separate emotional reasons from financial ones. If you buy, do it with eyes wide open. Know the true costs and opportunity cost. A house can be a great place to live, but it shouldn't be your retirement plan. Think like a rich renter. Maximize flexibility, minimize costs, and invest for your future. The old American dream was a house with a white picket fence. Today, the new dream is financial freedom, owning your time, not just your home. The wealthy value the ability to walk away from a job, start a business, or travel the world. That freedom rarely comes from tying up your money in a house. It comes from building a portfolio of assets that work for you. Rethink the rent versus buy debate. Look at it like an investor. The real dream isn't about owning property, it's about owning your future. Sometimes the smartest path is paved with a lease, not a mortgage.